pene maha e te nui e te rahi koutou i takahi i te ara tō ngaki o tō tāta ahuri huri au Māori e. Whiki mai, ka ke mai, haere mai ki te whare o te kawa na tiakaro au te aroa nei te kia whakanui a koutou o tāwata mahi nui e.
Te hei mauri ora ki te whaia o ki te ao mai. Ko te amorangi ki mua ko te hāpai o ki kui. Kia tau i hōna mana ki tanga ki runga ki tēnā o tātā. E hōnore he kororia he mau ngārongo ki runga ki te mata o te whenua, he whakaro pai ki ngā tangata katoa. Aro haina ngā teina, me ngā tuakana, e noho nei rungi te whakaro ko tahi, pai marire.
Please be seated. E ngā mana, e ngā reo, e ngā iwi o ngā hau e whā, tēnei ki mihi mahana ki o koutou, nau mai, hara mai, ki te whare nei, te whare o te kāwana tianara, kei whanganui atara. Distinguished guests, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to Government House, Wellington, for today's investiture ceremony. I'd like to specifically acknowledge the Honourable Mark Mitchell, Minister of the Crown, Mr Joe Harawira, our kaumātua, Ms Puhiwahine Tibble, our kuia, tēnā koutou katoa. Hosting investiture ceremonies is one of the most important duties that I perform on behalf of His Majesty, the King of New Zealand. I'm delighted to bring together such an extraordinary group of New Zealanders. You have each brought pride and a greater sense of well-being to Aotearoa through your outstanding achievements and your service to our communities. On behalf of all New Zealanders, I extend my sincerest thanks to you for your contributions. After each recipient is honoured, I invite you to join with me in congratulating them. Ms Catriona McLeod will now summon the recipients and read their citations.
Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a Companion of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Mr Pip Cheshire of Auckland for services to architecture. Pip Cheshire is a distinguished architect who co-founded Jazzmax Architects. Through this firm and later through Cheshire Architects, he led the Britomart Urban Renewal Project in downtown Auckland. He was one of 3 design team members for the Museum of New Zealand, Te Papa Tongarewa, and volunteered his time to document early explorers' huts in Antarctica. He undertook the master planning and design of the University of Auckland's award-winning Lee Marine Reserve campus at Goat Island. He's a fellow of the New Zealand Institute of Architects, NZIA, and was its national president. During his presidency, he helped to make the institute relevant to Māori practitioners. Mr Cheshire has demonstrated a commitment to young people, education and sustainability as an adjunct professor at the University of Auckland. Mr Pip Cheshire, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of an Officer of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Mr. Anthony Gray of Hastings, for services to accounting and Māori business. Anthony Gray has had a career in accountancy. He initiated major changes in financial management in the Department of Lands and Survey and DIA. He helped establish and was CFO of Mighty River Power. He was CFO and Director of Investment for TVNZ. He was General Manager, Secretariat and Group Monitoring at Te Runanga o Ngāi Tahu. As CFO of Hastings District Council, he contributed to major infrastructure activities and economic development. He remained a consultant to the council in retirement, taking on numerous directorships. He has overseen a doubling of Ngāti Pukanga Investments asset base and a steady income stream. He was on the board of Eastland Group, including time as chair. Mr. Gray has chaired or served on various Chartered Accountants of Australia and New Zealand committees. Mr. Anthony Gray, please come forward. Ms. Marie Lindea of Nelson for services to multicultural communities. Ms. Marie Lindea co-founded Multicultural Nelson Tasman, MNT, formerly Nelson Multi-Ethnic Council, supporting migrant and former refugee communities. She is Deputy Chairperson, previously serving as Chairperson and Treasurer. She organised Nelson's first multicultural get-togethers, paving the way to the annual large-scale Multicultural Festival. She was New Zealand Red Cross Area Regional Council Chairperson and remains an Area Councillor and Nelson Branch Treasurer. Her Community Governance Board involvement includes Nelson Budget Advice, Nelson Bays Community Law, Interfaith Council Nelson Tasman, Volunteer Nelson as Deputy Chair then Secretary, Te Whatu Ora Health Consumer Council, National Council of Women and Nelson Women's Club member, and the New Zealand Chinese Friendship Association. She was National Secretary for Multicultural New Zealand. Ms. Lindea has been involved with Speak Out Nelson Tasman, an anti-racism and allyship reporting system. Ms. Marie Lindea, please come forward. Professor Rangi Matamua of Hamilton for services to Māori astronomy. Professor Rangi Matamua Tuhoi was widely written on Matariki, identifying the 9 stars Māori perceived in the cluster, in contrast to the 7 associated with the Pleiades in European tradition. He's a professor at Massey University's School of Māori Knowledge and has undertaken significant research in Māori language revitalisation, Māori culture and astronomy. He is a board member of the Society for Māori Astronomy Research and Traditions. He was the first Māori to win the Prime Minister's Science Prize and is a Fellow of the Royal Society Te Aparangi. He is the government's chief advisor, Matauranga Matariki. He uses his social media platform to engage with diverse audiences, speaking in te reo Māori and English, educating on astronomy. Professor Matamua gives regular presentations around New Zealand and internationally. Professor Rangi Matamua, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the insignia of a member of the New Zealand Order of Merit, Mrs. Bonnie Sue of Ohakune for services to health and Māori. Bonnie Sue was one of 3 volunteers who formed the Ngāti Rangi Community Health Centre Incorporated, NRCHC, in 1996, an organisation she went on to manage until 2020. The NRCHC was a whānau ora organisation supporting residents in the Waimarino, Ohakune, Raitihi and Waiōuru areas, providing free services and health information and addressing the clinical and cultural needs of whānau. It also delivered Well Child Tamariki Ora and Kaupapa Māori mental health and addiction services. Before her retirement, Mrs. Sue initiated the merging of the NRCHC and Ngā Waihua or Paerenga Trust into one integrated Hauora Māori Wellness Centre for the community. Mrs. Bonnie Sue, please come forward. Mr. Tama Waipara of Gisborne for services to Māori music. Mr. Tama Waipura, Ngāti Ruapani, Rongo Whakata, Ngāti Porou, is founder, chief executive and artistic director of Te Tera Whiti Arts Festival. He was creative associate of the Auckland Arts Festival. He is a Waiata Māori Music Awards ambassador and has advocated for equitable Māori representation at the New Zealand Māori Awards. He's been a member of Puatatangi, the National Committee of Māori Musicians, and has supported rangatahi through the Pau 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 Tuakana Tēnā mentoring program. He's deputy chair of Rongo Whakata Iwi Trust and a Te Papa Tongarewa National Museum board member. Mr. Waipura has composed film soundtracks and won Best Roots Album at the 2014 New Zealand Music Awards. Mr. Tama Waipura, please come forward. Your Excellency, to receive the Queen's Service Medal, Mr. Brian Doughty of Whanganui for services to rural communities and outdoor recreation. Brian Doughty is president of the Whanganui Tramping Club. He chairs the Four Friends Memorial Trust, established in memory of 4 club members who died at Auraki, Mount Cook. With a lifelong career in farming, he was provincial president of Whanganui Federated Farmers for 10 years. He was a founding trustee and driving force behind the Ruapehu Whanganui Rural Support Trust. He is a foundation trustee and current chair of Farming Friends of Hospice Whanganui and of Te Araroa Whanganui Trust. Mr. Doughty represents rural communities on the board of Jigsaw Whanganui, a family support services trust. Mr. Brian Doughty, please come forward. Mrs. Te Aomarama Maka of Morrinsville for services to the community. Te Aomarama Maka, Ngāti Haua, Ngāti Wairere, Nai Te Rangi, served on the Morrinsville College Board of Governors, chaired the whānau Support Committee, and was a board representative on the Morrinsville District Schools Trustees Association. She's a member of the Tainui Education Iwi Committee and assisted the Ministry of Education to help Māori boards and schools with self-governance. She is cultural advisor for the Morrinsville Kahui Ako. She is a senior kuia and cultural advisor of Ngāti Haua. Mrs. Maka is president of Morrinsville Māori Women's Welfare League and vice president of the Tainui branch. Mrs. Te Aomarama Maka, please come forward.
Tēnā koe, te tuakana e, te ruruhi o Ngāti Haua e whakahonoru tia nei, tēnei honoru nui whakaharahara e, tēnā rā koe kui e. E ora moa ke toru e, anō te pai, te ahua re tae e.
Mrs. Ngahiwi Merawiti of Porirua for services to netball. Ngahiwi Merawiti, Ngāti Toa, Ngāti Porou, Ngāti Raukawa, Ngāti Tama has been the umpire coordinator, coach and assessor for the Kapimana Netball Centre. She served as board member and president. She has been draw convener and had responsibility for finances and grant funding. As a coach, she has led her club team to 8 Premier 1 championships. She has coached and managed at secondary school and regional levels. She was assistant coach of the Capital Shakers. Mrs. Merawiti has been involved in Māori netball as a coach, manager and now treasurer for Ikaroa ki te Tonga. Mrs. Ngahiwi Merawiti, please come forward. Mr. Brian Pegler of Leaston for services to social work. Brian Pegler was a social worker and worked as the Mayor's Welfare Fund Administrator at Christchurch City Council, forming strong relationships and putting packages of support together to help people out of their challenging situations. He was the main organiser of the West Coast Lifeline, which continues today. He was a founding member of the Child Abuse Prevention Service Family Help Trust. He convened the Aged Care Forum. He co-wrote the booklet, A Question of Care, a free guide to residential care options. Mr. Pegler was a member of the Council of Social Services. Mr. Brian Pegler, please come forward. Your Excellency, the investiture has concluded.
New Zealand's honours system is our highest public affirmation of outstanding individual achievement. It reinforces those things that make our society better: service, manaakitanga, and the pursuit of excellence. To our recipients, it has been a privilege to hear your stories. You have each used your talents and abilities to improve the lives of fellow New Zealanders. In doing so, you embody the sentiment expressed by the great Nigerian playwright Wole Soyinka when he said, "Human life has meaning only as long as it is lived in the service of humanity." I urge recipients to wear your insignia with pride at every opportunity, knowing you inspire others by your example. On behalf of the King of New Zealand and all New Zealanders, I congratulate you on your achievements, and I thank you once again for your service to our country. Kia ora, e huhi mai nei I tēnei rā. Now you will see on the back of your program the words to the national anthem in te reo and in English. I now invite you to stand with me and join in singing these.